Yes. Mr. Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio, and we have just witnessed Savannah Marshall defeating Franchon Cruz. So Franchon Cruz was the unified middleweight champion, but she decided to take on the talented boxer Savannah Marshall, and as I thought, turned out to be a mistake. In the early going, Franchon Cruz made it messy, rushing in, doing more wrestling than boxing. But Savannah Marshall, the superior boxer, boxed her up. Franchon Cruz just making it messy, brawling, trying to do some takedowns, just making it hella messy. She did get some punches in earlier on, but as the fight drew on, it just got increasingly messy for Franchon Cruz in the face of the superior boxing of Savannah Marshall. Turned out just as I expected it to. Franchon Cruz doesn't have very good boxing at all. It speaks of the fact that women's boxing is very recent. It's a recent thing in history. And to think that Franchon Cruz was an undisputed super middleweight champion with such rudimentary skills is something else. I didn't see how she could beat Savannah Marshall, and indeed, she just got picked off. I had it 94-96. Well, that's not that much of a margin. 2 rounds. So credit to Franchon Cruz. She did try to make it kind of messy, but she was up against a superior boxer. The superior boxer hit her more times than Franchon Cruz could hit Savannah Marshall. Franchon Cruz made it messy, but ultimately the victor was Savannah Marshall by 2 rounds on my scorecard. It could have been more on yours. I wouldn't argue with that. But Savannah Marshall gets back. She get back. She got beat by Clarissa Shields, friend of Franchon Cruz. I don't suspect she was making big money over in America. So she took a risk, big gamble, opted to fight Savannah Marshall. She didn't have to. She chose to. I guess there was some big mouth in it for Franchon Cruz. Clearly, it would have been her biggest payday by far. She tried to use distraction techniques, tried to talk, and maybe tried to get in the head of Savannah Marshall. Did it work to an extent? Maybe. It wasn't Savannah Marshall's best performance, but she was in the face of someone really trying to make it messy, and she kept her composure as best she could and stuck behind the boxing as much as she could and came home with the victory. And rightly so. She was the better boxer. Okay, so Savannah Marshall is now your undisputed super middleweight champion. So congratulations to Savannah Marshall. We talk about it more in the live show. But in the meantime, Mr. Raphael Dawkins, Combat Radio. Like, subscribe, comment, share, and I'm out.